Hello and welcome to the Firefly episode overview number 5, Safe. And here we go. Safe is the 5th episode of Firefly, the TV series, and was first aired by Fox on November 8th, 2002. Mal must choose which crew member to save when one is gravely wounded and 2 others are kidnapped. Simon finds an uneasy haven in a remote village, but River's uncanny perceptions jeopardize the Tams' temporary safety. The episode opens on the Tams' estate 11 years before the present day, where young Simon addresses his homework. River, however, is more engaged in imaginary battles against the Independents. Simon tries to steer River back to her dance practice, but she's not only completed this work, but also points out a flaw in Simon's own textbook. Their father, Gabriel, enters, and the children assail him about obtaining a dedicated source box. Tams Sr. expects his son to become a brilliant doctor in return for this. The scene then cuts to the present-day doctor as he tries to perform tests on his adult sister, who is loudly and violently refusing. Mal enters to complain about River's outbursts, disturbing the cattle taken aboard in the previous episode, making it clear that they are to stay out of the way of the impending deal. On arrival at the backwater colony of Jigen, Shepherd Book aids Mal and Jane in unloading and pinning the cattle. When River communes with the animals, Mal decides to send her and Simon off to town to stay out of the way of their clandestine dealings, at which Simon wirily apologizes for tipping anyone off about Mal's cunning concealed herd of cows. They join Inara and Kaylee as the women are shopping. Although Kaylee contemplates buying something nice for Simon, the doctor manages to insult her and her beloved Serenity with his complaints about his predicament, and the Tams are left to their own devices. Simon quickly discovers River has wandered off. Back at the impromptu cattle pen, Mal meets with his disreputable clients. Just as they come to an agreement on price, the local law enforcement arrives to arrest the clients, and in the ensuing gunfight, Book is grievously wounded. Meanwhile, River wanders into a country dance, where she quickly picks up the movements, and Simon watches his sister enjoy herself for a change. River's ecstatic dancing suddenly falters when Book is shot, but before Simon can react to his sister's distress, he is kidnapped by a group of men. While he is dragged off, a flashback shows adult Simon arguing with his parents that River is in trouble at the Institute. Her letters, he insists, talk about events that never occurred, as a code asking for help. But being more concerned for the effects of Simon's paranoia may have on his rising career, his parents shrug off his worries as being overprotective of his little sister. Back in the present time, River follows Simon and his kidnappers. She is quickly seized as well. Mal and Zoe manage to get Book back to Serenity to perform some field surgery to stabilize him. When Wash is unable to find the doctor to help Book, Mal realizes that Simon and River have probably been taken by the hill folk, who kidnap unwary people, especially skilled workers. He makes the unpopular decision to abandon the Tams in order to get Book off-planet and proper medical treatment. Even as Simon consults River about their imminent rescue, they see Serenity take off without them. The doctorless mountain people welcome Simon and his sister, although he is less pleased with the situation. But when he sees the many ill villagers, he uneasily settles into his vocation. As he works, he tries to argue the inconsistency of this devoutly religious community kidnapping strangers to meet its needs. But Dora Lee, a village teacher, merely suggests that Simon may well be in the place he is fated to be. On Serenity, Inara interrupts Mal and Wash's attempts to locate medical help to suggest an unpleasant alternative, asking an Alliance cruiser. When Alliance personnel board the ship, Mal explains their urgent need, but the captain of the IAV Magellan callously dismisses Book's situation. When Book weakly asks the captain to check his identification card, however, the officer suddenly reverses himself and orders urgent care. Mal and the crew wonder what kind of connection with the Alliance Book must have, and upon departure, a recovering Book dodges Mal's question but acknowledges that it's a good home. Back in the village on Jigen, Simon and River share a memory of their childhood. River soon despairs of how her plight has taken everything Simon had away from him. She says sadly, "You gave up everything you had to find me. You found me broken. It's hard for you. You gave up everything you had." Simon quickly reassures her by saying, "My, Everything I have is right here. River tells him that they won't be with the border people forever, saying we won't be here long. Daddy will come and take us home, and I'll get better. I'll get better. Simon finds hardly any comfort in his sister's strange statement. River then tells Dora Lee about the cause of a young mute girl's silence. Dora Lee realizes that she has an unusual power, but for this superstitious woman there is only one explanation: that River is a witch. Another flashback shows an embarrassed and furious Gabriel Tam retrieving his son from Alliance custody after an attempt to help River by meeting with someone in the blackout zone. The elder Tam tells Simon that he will not protect his son from any further improprieties. Back in the present time, River's current improprieties has Dora Lee summoning the townspeople about a witch among them. The patron or village elder arrives to investigate. Unfortunately, River only seals her own fate by reading him, revealing how he attained his position through the murder of his ailing predecessor. The patron quickly cuts her off with a slap, adding his own voice to the call for a witch burning. Simon appeals to the patron, fighting the torchbearers and chiding the villagers for their ignorance. When these efforts fail, he finally takes his place next to his sister, prepared to be burned with her. River announced that it's time to go, and at that moment Serenity swoops down over the village. As Jane holds the villagers at gunpoint from Serenity's cargo bay, Mal and Zoe secures the Tams' release, commenting that their last-second rescue made them big damn heroes. The village patrons, not frightened by Jane's show of force, says the girl's a witch. Mal quickly raises his own gun to the village patron and says threateningly, "Yeah, but she's our witch, so cut her the hell down." As Serenity leaves Gaijin, Jane hastily returns the valuables he had stolen from the Simons during his brief absence. Simon asks Mel why they came back for him, and Mel explains offhandedly that it was because Simon was part of his crew. The Tams join the rest of the crew for a cheerful dinner, having found a home. Hey, thank you for watching the history of Firefly. Special thanks to the Firefly fandom for all information you heard today. Have a great day and stay shiny.